I get this question a lot. How can someone recognize when they're not setting boundaries with other people? And today I want to address specifically how you can know that from conversations with those people. And before we go there, I had a client of mine, and she was really good with addressing all the stress management things that you can do in the workplace. Setting boundaries that has to do with her time. She has her scheduling done. She has her emails done. She would take her breaks and all that. But she was not taking really any serious boundaries that has to do with her coworkers, and that definitely did not help her stress management and definitely made her burn out more. Relationships with other people is very iffy area because it comes with so much of baggage from whatever we come from, because the day we're born we're already in a relationship, right, with everybody else around it. So here are three things that you can watch out when you start talking with someone. Just pay attention how that makes you feel after you talk with someone, and that will show you, are you really applying those boundaries with them or not. Sign number one: resentment. Let's say a coworker walked into your room, or even a friend. Like there's those friend groups that you have so many friends, but then there's one you like kind of feel very iffy about. As soon they walked into your vicinity, is there something inside you just starts fuming? And they may be just coming, to your room and saying, "Oh, hi, how are you? How was your week?" and all of that, cheesy stuff. And you immediately start like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot stand this person." Or you maybe even totally ignoring it, that you cannot even stand that person, but you were kind of thinking, I just feel bad in my body. Why? Because your body tells you that there's some boundary that this person continuously crossing with you, but you're not implementing any boundaries. Okay, and then somebody can say, well, what do you want me to do? Boundaries is whatever they say, something, let's say maybe they insult you, they put you down, then you stand up for yourself and you tell them, I don't want you to talk to me in this way. I don't want your tone of voice. Whatever you talk to me that makes me feel this way or that way. But I want to address the issue. Why would we even not pay attention how we feel in a conversation with someone? And what can happen when you feel that resentment towards someone? You feel guilty of actually addressing the issue because you're being groomed to be very nice, and especially in the workplace. Here's what happens. We are afraid to lose a job. There could be somebody very mean to us. They could be constantly crossing our time boundaries, privacy boundaries, all kinds of boundaries. But we're still saying, we're afraid to say no. We're afraid to implement that boundary because we're being groomed from the early age to please people. That's like, oh, how could they? No, this is how humankind works. I mean, when you were a child, you need other people. You need to belong to the family. So you cannot be discarded or you die. That's just pure survivalism. So what happens is when you're a child and somebody tells you that you need to shut up, sit down, or you need to be nice to your brother or your sister who are abusive, you should be not telling, I don't like that you are physically abusing me. You will be just taking in all of this abuse when you're a child. And then what happens? You bring this abuse into your adult life. And you've been groomed to people please. And you're like, I definitely need to be fine with this abuse, especially in the workplace. Because they're kind of like holding you on a leash, right? Because, well, if you're going to lose a job, then you're going to lose the money, and then you will lose your house, your family, your kids, and it goes all the way. So even if you're in a conversation and you feel resentful, you will be afraid to say anything because, like, well, I don't want to make that person angry, and then they maybe report me to HR, and then I'm going to get fired and everything. What's the solution? Stand up for yourself. It's time to not abandon yourself. When you were a child, you may feel abandoned emotionally or physically even. I hope not. But you need to stand up for yourself now. This is an adult life. And you have a right to tell other people what you like, what you don't like, and what is fair, and how that makes you feel. And if you, in a situation, let's say in the workplace, that even if you feel bad with some other person, Maybe it's time for you to address the fear, the actual thing that's still keeping you in that uncomfortable situation. Is that what will happen if you lose your job? So start addressing that. Take a piece of paper and start writing down all the things. What is the worst thing that can happen if you get fired? And then you will see that, wait a minute, this is not that bad. I already have a plan. Have a plan A and B and C and D and whatever it is. And even better, go a little bit farther than that. Contact people that can help you to get another job. Update your resume. Start talking with your friends and say, hey, if I'm going to lose a job, will you be okay? I'll be living in your basement until I find another one. So prepare. When you prepare, then you stress less. And that's how you trust yourself more. So you know if there is something will comes up in the future, you will be there for yourself. That's how you deal with this. And then you address the boundary that other people not making you feel good. They may be abusive. When they're abusive, that's you really need to take action. The second sign that you're not addressing any boundaries in a relationship, no matter what relationship it is, if let's say they invite you to somewhere to go or to do something, and now you're like, I need to have boundaries, so I'm going to say no to them. And then you say no, but then you immediately start explaining yourself why you cannot do this, why you cannot go there, and why? Because you feel ashamed that you stood up for yourself. Yes, this is going back again in the childhood where you've been groomed that your needs don't matter. You've been told that you need to sacrifice yourself for the unity of the family, of the unity of the group, of the society. Because yes, for the same reason, you'll be excarded, or hence you will die of starvation. I know it's not funny, I apologize, but that's how we work. We have to please people around us in order to survive. So naturally, you will feel very bad of telling somebody else that no, you're not going to help them with this presentation at work because you already have a lot to do on your own. Or you start explaining yourself, oh, but I have this and this and that, and I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. When you start saying a lot of I'm so sorry in a conversation, when you're apologizing for your needs, that's a red flag. That is a sign that you're not implementing the boundaries. Of course, what's the solution? You need to start applying those boundaries. So next time, when you say no, which is great, kudos, you're already like first step ahead, right? Just say no and don't explain yourself. And what will happen? You will gain more trust that, oh my gosh, I said no and nobody died. And I didn't explain myself and they were okay with that. I mean, my coworker just came in. She said that she wants me to do this presentation. I said, no, I don't have time. And she said, yeah, okay, fine. And then she went and now somebody else. Oh, wow, new deal. Yes, you will learn through experience. The more you allow yourself to do things, the more you will stand up for your own needs, the more you will see that, hey, this is working out for me. This is great. Because naturally, when you are less stressed out and less burnout, you can not only help yourself, but you can help other people. And especially, like, say, in the workplace environment, if you're so afraid that, oh, if I'm going to say no, or if I'm going to stand up for myself, they will fire me, it will not happen. Because if you are in a confident place, if you're feeling productive, if you are performing well, you will be like a star employee that nobody ever want to get rid of you because you're doing so well. So you see, it's actually working in your favor when you have boundaries. And here's the last sign that you're probably not addressing or not putting any boundaries with people that you in communication is when you leave conversation with them and you just feel drained. There are those conversations I say, well, maybe just remember, just think, do you have like a favorite friend, like, or favorite group friends? And anytime that you meet with them, it's just so much fun. You're high energy. You just like, wow, that was great. I want to hang out again. or like a conversation where you learn something that they inspired you, and you leave like this high energy. You're like, oh my gosh, we need to do this again. But then there is the opposite. There are probably some people in your life that, again, we can talk about workplace, that those coworkers that come to your workplace and they start like dumping all the negativity, all the how much they hate this job, how much they hate their life, and you're like, I have no boundaries. So you don't tell them that I have lots of work to do. So how about we'll talk later? And then you're just listening and just soaking in. And yes, and they're very nice people and you love them, but you're still there. You're not implementing any boundaries. And they're going on and on and on. And at the end of that, they finally leave. And you're like feeling drained. And here you go. You had such a good time. The morning, it went great and you did so much, you accomplished during the day. And that person just came in and just, dumped everything on you and drained you totally. So think about it. Try to pay attention when you talk with people, how they make you feel. Where are your energy levels? It makes you feel inspired. Did you want to hang out with them? And yes, I can get it. And you're like, well, this is easy for you to say. That person is coming. What is if my boss? If it's your boss, that's even better because they all care about you producing and doing your job. So if they come and they continue talking for like 10 minutes, you can interrupt and say, I am so sorry, but my report is due and I really need to work on this right now. They will be like, oh my gosh, oh yeah, we have a job to do. So you go ahead. There are also some ways how you can nicely let go of those people from your environment immediate. Go to the restroom. You can say, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to use the restroom right now. Nobody's going to follow you into the restroom, okay? I recommend this to a lot of my clients, especially those that are afraid to implement any boundaries. Or you just stand up and leave. Like, let's say you go into a printer, or maybe you say, oh, I need to go talk to this, or just don't even explain anything to them. Just stand up and walk around. Because when they just continue talking and you're still sitting or you're still listening, they just kind of go on forever. But if you interrupt something, they may think, oh yeah, I need to go do something else. So start interrupting those long conversations if you have and you feel very drained. What comes to people, let's say somebody called, and let's say there's a person that you already know that you need to talk to them. For example, family member, they're like, oh my gosh, I hate talking with my sister, but I need to talk to them. Okay. When they call, don't pick up the phone right away. Or you can pick up the phone and say, I am very busy right now. Can I call you later? Probably the time you call them back, they already will be fine. They probably already found another victim to vent. Okay? So you'll be less drained because you don't have to take up all that stuff. And then also, as soon as you pick up the phone, if you really need to talk to them that moment, you can tell them, hey, I'm in the middle of something. We can talk for 10 minutes, but then I need to hang up and go do something. Giving them a heads up at the beginning of conversation allows them to see that you're not ignoring them. You're not going to push them away. So they don't feel hurt, but they also feel that you heard them because you will give them that time to talk. And they will not be surprised or feel like you cut them off when you say, you know what, 10 minutes is up and I really need to go. So try that. And after all of this video now, if you think, oh my gosh, there's so much to think, I don't know what I do, I need help, I'm here to help you. So go to my website, beamazingyou.com, and book a coaching session with me. We can get crystal clear on all your boundaries, how we deal with other people, time management, and all of this. It can be so personalized that I can guarantee you after even one session, you'll be very clear on how you need to proceed with your boundaries in your life.